One thing I noticed here that I think is very neat is look at Christian's saddle pad on the Western saddle that Kathy was using, and look at the hair spots and the wear spots on the bottom of that pad, and then look at the gap in between here of how that saddle was laying on his back and the pressure points. So check your pad, it'll tell you a story.
So again, Kathy, this one is a straight dressage saddle. It has a foam panel, but it sits on a completely different tree than the first two you tried. Okay, does that mean you're being tipped forward? Okay, put an extra pad in. I'm just gonna add a little bit more in the front. You never wanna add it to the saddle, because what you need to learn to do is, what these saddles are designed to do is to balance to you and your horse. Yes. So if you are leaning off of your left side, it means he's not even. It's going to be your job to ride him evenly, which will be a whole nother video segment. And that's a lifelong journey, because you have three balances. You have a vertical, you have a horizontal, and you have a lateral, so left to right. Ideally, you would like everything to be right in the middle. When you can find your balance right in the middle, you'll be able to do anything you ever dream of, because it's all right here. So again, what these saddles do is they kind of tell on us where our horse's balance is and where our balance is. So how does he feel compared to the first saddle? He's more forward, okay? What I liked about the first saddle the most is that he was very mindful of his footfalls. This is so the first one, his tempo was slower, okay? This one is 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So if you take your hand and close it all the way in a fist. So Ted, if you take your hand and close it all the way in a fist, this is going to be his muscle in contraction. If you open it out, take your hand and open it all the way, this is going to be his muscle in a relaxed state. So this builds elasticity, this builds strength. Okay, so contracting, relaxing, contracting and relaxing. And if you find a tempo where you can fully contract and fully relax, it's about a 1 2 1 2, which is what he naturally did in the. That's where his tempo needs to be, right there. That's, and then see how he's starting to relax his head and neck. So, but because Kathy's riding a little bit of. What's that?
My balance when I change the axles is bad.
Yes, it is, because she's ahead of the horse all the time. Again, way too much information, but Christian's tempo in the saddle, it looks like he's moving better in it, but his tempo is quicker. His tempo's too quick, and you ride slightly ahead of your horse because you're not used to a saddle that can move with your horse. So his tempo in this is a tiny bit quicker, which shouldn't be confused with the horse that's moving freer. Again, but I gave the example of if you take your fist and you close it. So this is a muscle. If it contracts all the way, it's allowed to build strength. If it can relax all the way, it's allowed to build elasticity. Okay? So if you find a tempo, take your hand again. If you find a tempo in there that allows you to contract to build strength and relax to build elasticity, it's about a tempo of a 1 2 1 2 1 2. If it's too quick, it builds up too much strength. in a muscle. If there's nothing there, that's when they start looking to loose. The right amount is what you want. And that's to build healthy muscle with healthy ligaments, healthy tendons. It allows a proper blood flow to go through. He found it the most naturally in the very first saddle because he felt the best. Okay, this saddle is back with wool again. The panels don't sit back as far. Here, this one here, back here. And it's a completely different tree. So it's a third different kind of tree he's been in. So again, when his head goes up, that tells us he leaves his back end, his hind end out behind him, and his back is dropped.
Do that transition again, Kathy. And note when he does it, he didn't pick his head up like he did.
And I'm not falling off my left.
Okay.
Good.
Do
Good.
that walk trot transition and watch his head.
I'm gonna try not to walk. I'll wait till I make
Okay. All right, transition again.
I almost see some canners in this saddle.
I see it coming.
Good. So how does it feel? Feels good. Do you feel tipped forward to tip back or anything? Are you in the middle? Okay. Say that again about his neck. He wants to reach. Okay.
Like I can feel my diagonals way better.
Okay.
Without having to cheat and look.
Okay. Actually, it was more proper than the other ones. Because he's actually stepping into your contact as opposed to shutting down with his front end. Are you smiling? How does it feel? Yeah, you canter too long. When you start feeling yourself come out of balance, regroup. It's a whole new body position for him and a whole new carriage for him to be able to move like that. You do.
Well, see, that was good because all of a sudden it felt really good, and the next thing I know, it was going south.
Yes, stop.
For me, what I saw was that you would change from the position that your saddle is putting you in with a nice tall upper body. And then
You dropping your shoulder, then he starts dropping
All of a
his.
sudden, everything went bad. Not just me. It was like everything went bad.
It's
It might have been me just going bad, and then he.
It doesn't matter. You guys are together. It doesn't matter. If you feel out of balance, stop. So in conclusion for today, Christian and Kathy chose this saddle, which is an Equinox general purpose dressage. It is a 7X. They chose this saddle over the other ones because Christian prefers a wool flocking and he preferred this type of tree. The saddle that Kathy has on, it's the exact same tree as this saddle, it's just in the Western style. So to proceed from here, Kathy and Christian will have to decide whether they would like this saddle or that saddle, and then contact the balance office in England.
Okay, so I guess to recap everything we've worked on here is that we've taken Christian, we've tried multiple different saddles. We took the approach, we wanted him to choose the saddle first and then the rider. So the saddles when you go back and look, you could tell it's very evident the ones he liked and the ones he didn't, and how he could move and how he couldn't. So our purpose here is try to create an environment for him to learn in that we're eliminating pain and we're eliminating resistance and we're making this horse supple. key point Michelle said here a few minutes ago, this horse does very well at this stage because we've done our homework. And we obtained suppleness, we obtained willingness to move with this horse in hand and mounted, but we took our time. And I think that's very important. You know, you can go to some of our other videos and see how to accomplish that. So, you know, there's more to it than just climbing up on his back, folks. I mean, you've got to do your homework. And when you do, you end up in this stage here where now what we're going to do is in our next videos, rather than ride Christian, Michelle's going to demonstrate and show Kathy some exercises that she needs to do in hand and probably mounted too that are going to develop muscle. And we've measured the horse, and we're going to keep record of it, and we're going to follow the progress of his muscle development as we move along. So it's going to take us a little while to get this accomplished, but it's going to be well worth our effort. So subscribe to our channel and follow us, and we're happy to share all this with you. I will tell you all that none of us here are trying to sell you anything. We're just trying to help you. This is certainly a labor of love from all of us for horsemanship, and to try to influence people to think and get their mindset to do things properly and efficiently, to find balance and harmony with your horse. That's where we're headed. That's the story that we want to tell here. So with that concludes our saddle fitting session with Michelle Lackey, and we'll put on the screen here some contact info and so on if you're interested to contact her if you'd like to do this with your horse. She'd be more than happy to help you out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.